Right, I need to do a update on my large auction find. The one with the Hembrugh parts you can see here on a picture, because I don't have them anymore. I traded them. I put an ad up on a trading website, and I've got some responses. It was a while ago already, but I haven't come around to record this video yet, and I haven't really looked into the items I traded. But here's the first item I got. It's a MCO Unimat 4 milling spindle and a milling table, which I think belongs to the Unimat 5 or Compact 5, and I need to get some screws to get this together. Had some problems fitting it into the frame. So here is how it's supposed to look. It's a MCO Unimat 4 milling spindle. It's belt driven, but the belts are actually just big O-rings, and I'm not really certain which size I should have. Couldn't really find them online. I do have a broken one, and I noticed it was a bit of a different size than these three. But this is one of the machines I got for the trade. Not really sure what I traded this for a lot of the arbors, the grinding wheel arbors, and some other stuff. But that's not the only thing I got for it. This feels quite smooth. The top is looks okay, not much dents, a bit of imprints here, but it's not bad. Another item from the big auction lot. It's an indicator holder, and it's quite big compared to a magnetic base. I cleaned it and just removed a lot of rust and dirt and grime and stuff like that, and polished the knobs, did a bit of sanding on these parts, and it just made it look kind of nice, and it works. I'm not sure, there is a bit of, not play, but I can't really tighten this up. Maybe it's because of the knurl, and also I had to make a brass ring to fill a gap here. But it's it won't move when the indicator is indicating something, and I was just also using it already. I have in the meantime I totally cleaned my small mill, the MCO mill. And I tried it, and I noticed a large amount of run out on the chuck, and I can already show it. Right, something like this. Here on the spindle there is a hole for a Tommy bar. And the adjustment screw for the fine adjust is on the rear of this arm, which I kind of like. It makes it a bit nicer to handle. Lost my 0. If I just fell into the hole with the indicator tip. So there's almost no play here. This is a gauge pin. And there's almost 0.4 millimeter run out. And I think it's in the connection between the chuck and the spindle. There's a bit of rust and maybe the registering surface is a bit rusted or flared out. I mean, the part at the end of the thread, there's no thread relief and it looks like a Bosch, but I'm not sure. And there's a bit of rust here, and I'm not sure if this surface should mate with this surface because it doesn't touch it, and if it should, then the problem is in this boss here. And here's the second item, which I traded with the same guy. We had a nice chat about all kinds of stuff. It's a benchtop bandsaw. The quality is unknown. I did have to remove a lot of dust. I have absolutely no experience with this kind of machine, so I really have to do some researching. Here are some guides, but on the underside there's a bracket here, and I suppose there should be two other guides to guide the blade. I've got a couple of blades with different teeth per inch. So I have to check what it can do and how much it can take, but it's a nice addition to my workshop. It's quite old. Here on the sticker there's an old phone number, so it's at least from the first half of the 1980s. That's when the phone numbers changed. Here in the Netherlands, and it doesn't have a real nice safety switch, which is another thing, and it really needs some work. But I put a new cable on it, and the motor is okay. It's running, so that's at least a start. So now I'll have to watch a lot of bandsaw videos too. And then there's one more thing, but I've got to make some space for it. Right, I think I need to move the camera back a bit. And here's the last item I traded for. It's a workshop press. It's rated at 15 tons, I'm told. But the guy told me he once had to press up to 10 tons, and it was quite a quite a jolt when something he was pressing out finally broke free. So I'm not eager to test it at that kind of force. But I think it's a nice addition to my basement workshop. It's a bit of on the large side, but it has some wheels fitted to it, so I can move it aside and ride it just up to my storage rack, which holds a bunch of boxes. There's a slight problem with it. The cylinder, the piston doesn't retract on its own. Not sure how far it can go up, but it does move, and I can work it. But right. It also has some kind of connection. I'm not sure if it's for hydraulic or for air, but don't have a hydraulic machine or something like that. I do have a compressor, but it's quite noisy and it needs repair. There's something wrong with air regulator, but there's a rod with it, so I can just press things by hand. And that's what I traded the items for. I also traded away I think 2 or 3 sets of parallels, the machinist parallels, and the hydraulic indicator holder, which I also fixed. I'm not sure if it was an equal trade, but since I got all this stuff very cheap, it was mutual beneficial. And I think now I'll show some other finds. It does say something about an air motor. I'll store it like this, it doesn't take up too much space. And there's some stuff from another auction. There's this vise, a Hemclem vise, which was the main item I was going for. Wasn't real cheap, but it was a bit below normal price. And then there was this metal scraper with a 30mm blade, and I think this one is a original Zandvik scraper. And the drill, Morse taper shank, and I couldn't resist buying this because it came with this one. No one wanted to have it, but kind of like just to have a thing like this. It's 38mm bullnose mill. Probably won't ever spin it around myself, but it's cool to have. Maybe I'll trade it away for someone who can run this in a machine. And there was another lot. It was listed as a stand, and no one had bid on it, and there wasn't a picture included. And I took a gamble for €5, and I got 6 of these magnetic indicator holders. Some of them are a bit busted up. I traded one away. One of the bases I had to swap out for this one, because I couldn't find the knob when I traded away my hydraulic indicator stand. I repaired this plate. Put some pictures in the video. I repaired it with Durafix. It's kind of stuff you can use to weld aluminum and other non-ferrous materials. And I don't have much experience with it, but it seems to work, and it's okay, and it's nice to have something to be able to repair aluminum. But I had 6 of these black ones, and here's one with a micro adjust, which I didn't have before, so that's a good thing. And I'm not sure, but there's also this one included in this lot, and that makes it kind of worthwhile. Only the name on it increases its value by a lot. And maybe some of these others are from the same brand, Mitutoyo, but can't know for sure. And, I think I'll, if I swap out the good and the bad parts, I may end up with 3 or 4 indicator stands, and I can use them for different kind of things. And the last item I forgot, quality collets, ER16 collets, but they were sold as a set like this, and I could see it on the picture, so I knew I would be missing them. And these are cheap Chinese replacements. One of these is 50 euros to replace. When you buy the whole set, it's a bit cheaper, but I'll settle for this Chinese for, I think these are 6 and 8 millimeter sizes, so those are kind of regular sizes, but it's nice to have good precision collets. Now I need to have something to do with it. I need a collet holder. Maybe I've already ordered one, just one from China. Or perhaps I can use them in my rear tool post revolver. I've got one, but I don't have a lathe at the moment, not a functioning one, so that will take a while. Here's some flea market finds, some screwdrivers. It's always I need to have an extra one of these, and since I've reorganized my basement to be able to work here a bit better. Since then I need more tools down here, and I don't want to go up 3 flights of stairs every time I need a screwdriver. So I bought some stuff I was missing down here. Some wrenches, prop screwdrivers. I'm not sure this was in it. Not sure. But these are proper brand, Vera. I recognize these grips, and didn't look at the handles that much, but the tips, they look okay. I picked these up. Another insulated screwdriver. And a stubby one, which can be very handy to have for the difficult stuff. Then something I don't really know, but it's got a split hollow point, and you might, if you need one, you wish you had one of these, and maybe it will come in handy one day. Just like this one, I saw it lying and kind of liked the parallel action. I think maybe it's for handling hot stuff, I don't know, but I used it for it. I saw the possibility of it, and I already used it to handle this soldering fixture I made. And it's nice to have something with a real parallel grip. And there was something else, but I think I'll show it in a separate video. It was a kind of cool item. I also found these, a clamp and a machinist square. These are on the big side. This is 32 centimeters. It's quite hefty, as you can see. It's a Bessie. didn't know it was a brand. I've heard of Bessie clamps, but first time I've seen the name. And the machine is square. It's also quite big. It's almost half a meter high, a bit over half a meter. It was quite dirty, I had to clean it up. It was used in a production environment, so it's not in the best shape, but can come in handy someday. And these were items I bid on because I already was buying stuff from these auctions. But these go in the Big Boy Tools box. I got the giant clamp at the auction where I was buying these two. Giant straight edge parallel. It's scraped. It's already quite old. It's almost 33 years old, but it can be reworked if necessary. There's a bit of scratching on the top side, but it's maybe a bit too big for my purposes, but let's see what I can do with it. And here is almost the same, but it's a triangle shape. It's almost 45 degrees, I think. Haven't really measured it. There's all sort of protective stuff still on it, grease and maybe some embedded particles. I haven't really looked into them. Need to clean them one day and put them back in some protective stuff. But at the moment I don't want to pull off this protective stuff, which is already on here. There's quite a lot. This one was quite expensive, but still cheap for what it is. And this one I think was a real bargain. I got this giant machine square in an auction where I bought some other measuring tools. And here's the last set of items. I think I forgot to show these. These are from the flea market also. This is a Danish chuck. Didn't know they made them over there, but it's Leo Hjort, I think it's pronounced, or Hjort. The mark is a deer. And it looks quite old. It was moving, but I've put a lot of WD-40 through it, and I want to clean it, but I can hear something now. And I have to find a way to get this open, and I already loosened this ring, but there are two dimples here, and I hope I can use them to sever the cover from the body. And there's a hole here, maybe I can put a bar in it and undo the whole thing. And there was a guy selling some tools, and he had a couple of number sets, and really like the look of them. These are the old type, no pun intended. I made an example, and he had two I was really interested in, but the guy wouldn't budge. He knew what they were worth, or he knew what he wanted for them, and I couldn't haggle him down, so I ended up with only one. And this stuff came from an auction. It's I went for this one, but this is something I saw. It's a letter punch set with a block, so you can make nice aligned punching. But this one was not complete, and there were two others which looked a bit more complete, but this one was left behind. And there was this box with all kinds of extra stuff, the leftovers. And these were all these punches, and these are imperial diameter sizes. I've been cleaning them. So there's a lot more in this box. A lot of small ones. There's also a couple of different sizes. This is a stack of small ones. These are very small. And these are different sets. I have to clean them, they're a bit rusty. Some of them look pretty used, but maybe I can make a complete set out of it. Would be nice. These are also a whole box of very tiny letters, 1.5 or 2 millimeters. I'm not sure if they were meant to be stamped in metals, hard or soft, like brass or steel, or if it's just for ink, so you could have your own ink stamps. I will have to try one. All these letters together, at least I can make ransom notes if I want to. So here's a bunch of measuring tools, all of the Mitutoyo brands. This wooden box was the main item I was going for, but there were some other tools which were relatively cheap. But I did get carried away a bit at the auction, and that's something to look out for. But this is a set of long calipers, but it's missing the end retaining plate. These holes are made for non-standard screws with a cylindrical head and flat bottom surface, I think, and therefore M2.5, which is not a real regular size, but I found 2 of those screws at the front. And now I have to make the plate, which I have to tap. And, I think I'll be using stainless, which is a bit harder to tap, so I hope it works out without breaking any of them. But I didn't have one of these long ones, and looks to be in a decent shape. Here is a inside micrometer, and it really doesn't run smooth. There's no lock and gauge, but it's very hard to move. And I really have to clean it. There's a lot of this Mitutoyo style gunk on it. The decayed foam from these boxes. That's really an issue with these tools. The foam they used in the boxes it all decayed a while ago. And well, it's also a good sign for the tools. They last that long, but it's real pain to remove all this. So this one needs some repair. Then there was this one I was interested in, which is a non-foam box, but there's something special about this one. It's 25 to 50 millimeters, and it has a vernier scale, or Nonius, I know that name, but it's a way to measure the micrometers, which is kind of special in a analog one, and I think this is a good one. Feels nice. The anvils look okay. This one is in a good shape. And I got excited a bit. I recognized this on the photo, and I also bid on this one, which was a guess, really. I think it was shown like this, or maybe like this, and I didn't recognize the markings were missing, but I saw this case and I thought it might be the same as this one, a micrometer which goes down to the micrometers instead of the hundredths of a millimeter. But this one is not okay. It's boxes in a 4 shape. Here's an example of the crud or the gunk, which is the old foam. It looks like a genuine Mitutoyo, but it's worn out and it moves very lightly, so it needs some adjustment. Oh, there's even some play in it. I hadn't noticed that before, but maybe that can be fixed with the set screw in here, which clamps the thread of the, I'm not sure what this is called, the barrel. Here's a ring which clamps down onto this fine 0.5 millimeter pitch thread, and maybe it can remove the play, and you can use one of these spanners to adjust it. I don't have to show that. There's also a calibration ring, which is not the one supposed to be supplied with this one. This can close, so it doesn't need one, but here's a 25 millimeter calibration ring. Could use it. I already have some other of these stuff, but I got carried away for this. I was really hoping for 1 micrometer accuracy. But I should have known better. I should have watched more closely. And same for the calipers. And there's all these details you want to look at. And this is the main item. I have to fiddle around my camera stand. But it's a set of gauge blocks, and it's a complete set except for the wear blocks, which I think they get lost quite often. Most set I've seen come up on auctions are missing these blocks, but I ended up in a bidding war, which was a bit yeah, it wasn't too good to win. I ended up paying quite a lot of money, not the bargain I was hoping for, and it turned out to be a grade C, which is not the best one. I think it's maybe even worse one, but I even couldn't find them anymore listed on the Mitutoyo catalog. I think they don't make them this inaccurate anymore. well, they're not really inaccurate, but it's an old set, and at least I have them now, and I can start using them. I've got something I can use them for, but not going to do it right now. And they might come in handy when I'll finally start working on the scraping of my lathe, or the overhaul, which I started quite a long time ago, and I really miss my miss having a lathe. And I've been buying a lot of tools, so it's a great excuse. But now I think I have everything I need for it, so it I should be able to start soon. Don't have an excuse anymore to put it off any longer. I didn't pay too much money for this. It's value for what you get, but still I would rather have a different grade of blocks. But I think that's all. I hope this video isn't too long or too boring, and just showing stuff, some finds, but especially the trading stuff is nice to have. And I already started in the meantime to disassemble the little mill, and I've cleaned it up, and I need it for something. Wasn't planning on doing it right away, but I need to mill a tiny flat on a piece of aluminum casting, and it's difficult to do it on my Proxen Micro mill, so I decided I will do it as my first chips on the MCO mill. So I hope I can show it soon, but thank you for watching, and hope to see you soon.